All right, welcome back to the channel, guys. Now, today, we're back on the Defender and it's water tank time. Anyone who does a fair amount of traveling in their vehicle knows how important a bit of water storage is. So, this is what we're installing today. I think anyone that has a 110 Defender knows about Front Runner and probably already has installed this water tank, but this is, I don't know, one of the best water tanks I've seen for a vehicle. As far as uses dead space, it's not too big, it doesn't, I can't think of too many cons at the moment, but anyway, I'm sure someone will throw some out at me in the comments below. So this water tank actually sits in behind the guard here. And I'll show you the amount of space in there. So you can see that there is a whole heap of nothing. So it comes with this kind of stone guard, or I don't know, I don't want to call it a bash plate, but essentially it's a guard for the water tank. Just obviously being in a slightly vulnerable spot from stones flicking up. So let's get straight into it. As far as I'm aware, we will be drilling a hole through here, and that's for the fill point. Tap will be on the back here until I decide on a water pump and then some kind of an outlet somewhere, but not sure what's going to happen there yet. So we're going to install it as per instructions. Here they are. Had a quick read. All right, this plate essentially comes with a template, I guess you could call it, of where to drill. So I'm hoping this is going to work with the acoustic liner I have down, but that just slips down the side, up against the back, and that is where we are drilling. So we'll get a paint marker, mark that, drill our 53mm hole, grab a hole saw. Before we do that, we'll just double check that there's nothing under there. It's gonna also go through insulative layer out, just so that sits better. All right, that was easy. Looks like we need to remove this fender stabilizer bar and also mud flap bracket. So they're actually a little bit gummed up. They've probably never been removed, so let's grab a little bit of something to remove some of this dust. All right, I think we're ready to grab our tank and tank guard. Yeah, how are these going to get up there? All right, no idea how that's meant to fit up there without taking the exhaust off. Maybe we can just drop the exhaust a little bit. All right, top plate in. Couple of holes, couple of rivets, solid as a rock. Bit of thread tape on the outlet here, and I've just put that in. So I think that is good to go up here for the last time. One thing that isn't mentioned anywhere in the instructions was just backing off exhaust brackets, because I could not get this up here with the exhaust in the way. And it's still a bloody tight fit. Actually had to flex the guard out a bit, so. We just need to try and screw in this piece. Not sure how to make that. Should be a seal in there of some sort, so may even look to replace this. This is, I don't know, this should have some kind of a flange on it or something, so you can run a rubber seal around there. Because this is just going to be another entry point for dust. Well, having a bit of difficulty threading that plastic double male piece into the top of the tank, so two people would be a little bit easier. One person to hold the tank in place, the other person to screw it in. As I've taken that double male piece in and out a few times, the plastic threads start to feel a bit shit. So I'm going to try and put this guard in place. That will then hold the tank in place, hopefully. And I might even just see if I can locate a better double male piece with more of a flange on it. That'll act as more of a seal, and there'll be more contact surface area for actually supporting that tank up in there. I have drilled an extra hole in the middle here just because the electrics I've got up on the edge won't allow me to use two at the end. Another bit of problem, but anyway. Alright, well, I'm not sure what I'm missing here, but as far as I'm aware, this bolt isn't long enough. And there actually isn't anything in the instructions about removing this one and it goes in there, or if it goes in there. So I've got a little, I think this is a 130 or something like that. So M8 by 130, which I'm going to replace that one in there. We need to put a, but that will then locate this bottom bash plate slash support. So again, there's really no explanation on whether you put it through here or through here. So that's crap. And the only way the supplied one was going to work is if the tank's mounted further back. But they give you a template and this just goes as far back as to here. So that can't really go back any further. There's also a big gap around the filler, which is going to let dust in like crazy. So that's shit. So I need to replace this with one that has more of a flange on it, and you can put a seal under it then, and that'll prevent anything getting in. As for this cover, I mean, that'll be just covered over with some carpet when I get around to doing this interior, so that won't be an issue. Yeah, so all that's left to do push this hose onto the barb and just route the tap out the back. So let's get onto that. So that is how it sits. If you are not going to do anything too extreme, that shouldn't be a problem back there. But if you're going to do any rock crawling or anything like that, that is going to get snapped off straight away. So I don't have any of that planned just yet. However, the plan is to run a 12-volt pump and probably plumb it somewhere else. Not low and not where it's going to get snagged, but for now, got gravity-fed water. So if we do any kind of short weekend trips, that'll be usable. Clearance actually doesn't look too bad. I know you're going to struggle to see that, but my light stopped working. At full tuck, I think that might just contact that plate. So I will have to keep an eye on that. If it does, shouldn't be too much of a problem. I mean, there is a bit of space there between the plate and the tank. Not sure why, maybe for that reason. But other than that, pretty good use of space. All right, so overall, I mean, it's a great looking tank, great use of space. However, the instructions I found were pretty shit, and left a bit up to the imagination, and I even had to try and just make do. I mean, who knows? I think everyone with a Defender knows that they came out of the factory probably different every day. So probably have that to factor into writing instructions. So all in all, not too bad. If you are going to put 35s on with this tank, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how it goes, but I reckon that is going to hit or be very close. Anything smaller than 35s shouldn't have a problem. I would also replace the male-to-male coupling that screws into the tank and the cap screws onto that. I would replace that with something with a flange on it, because currently there is, a hole, the hole that you drilled and put the coupling in, there's nothing sealing that, so that's silly. So next time we're at Bunnings, we'll pick one of them up. I think that's it. Hopefully this has helped you decide whether you're going to tackle it yourself or, one of the options. So anyway, that's it for today. We'll see you next time. Cheers.